Good morning. Today is Thursday, May the 28th, 2020. And this is the day the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Today I want to look at Acts chapter 16. And I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I want to read one verse and then we'll talk about the rest of it. And that is Acts 16, verse 25. And at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. Now, what was that all about? Paul and Silas went to a city called Philippi, which was in Macedonia, which is today northern Greece. Barbara and I were privileged to visit Philippi one time. And when they went there was a woman that was possessed with a demon that followed them around and saying that these are the servants of the Most High God, they're showing to us the way of salvation. But anyway, she irritated Paul and Silas, and so Paul cast the demon out of the woman. But it just so happened that she made her owners, she was a slave, made her owners a lot of money by fortune telling. Well, when the demon left, so their money was gone. So they got mad at Paul and drug him into to the officials of the city. And anyway, it wound up, Paul and Silas were stripped of their clothes and beaten and then thrown into prison. Not just any prison, but into the inner prison. And their feet were made fast in stocks. Now get the picture. Here they are, they'd just been beaten for no reason. They were sitting in the dark, in a dungeon, with their feet fast in stocks. Now, if that were me, I would be complaining, and I would be saying, Lord, why me? I've tried to serve you, and look what it got me. Oh, Lord, I heard, and oh. But what did Paul and Silas do? At midnight, in the middle of the night, they prayed and sang praises to God in the middle of a terrible time. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to complain and to gripe about everything. This is wrong and that's wrong, and oh Lord, why me? And I'm afraid a lot of us complain a lot. But we shouldn't. I don't think I've ever been in a situation, I don't think you've been in a situation as bad as Paul and Silas, where you were beaten and put in prison and had your feet in the stocks in the dark. But what did they do? They prayed and sang praises to God. Wow. So when things don't go right, and of course we're living in a time today when things are not going good with this virus going around, I've heard a lot of people complaining about it. But we ought to be rejoicing and praying and praising God for all the good things He's done for us. Now, another thing I want you to see is this. The prisoners heard them. The prisoners heard them singing and praying. Now, when we gripe and complain as Christians, others hear us, and they think, oh, he's supposed to be a Christian, but he's griping, complaining all the time, instead of rejoicing. Now, the Philippian jailer, the one that was in charge, when they sang and back up, when they sang and prayed to the Lord and sang praises to God, God sent an earthquake and loosed all their stocks and their bonds and all the prisoners. And so the jailer came in, thought that all the prisoners had escaped and he was going to kill himself. Anyway, he then said, Sirs, what must I do to be saved? Now, the reason he did that, because he had heard them singing and praying. So now I ask you today, in the middle of bad times, what are you doing? Are you griping and complaining? Or are you singing and praying? Because others are watching you, and they determined by your action what Christians are like, whether they want to be a Christian or not. So I'd encourage you today, pray, sing praises to God in spite of the circumstances and not because of the circumstances. Let's do that today. See you in the morning.